Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire staff of Beech Motor Speedway and the Cusack family, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Maine's oldest continually operating family-owned speedway. My name is Bruce Elby, your race commentator. "15 laps on tap, 12 cars to qualify for the main event. Assistant starter Junior Niles atop the flag stand for heat number 1 gives the drivers the all clear as they work the backstretch down to turn 3. Meserve and Gallant bring them to turn 4. Green is out. Meserve by himself at the point. Gary Adams right up the inside. Kevin Buck takes position number 3, 3 wide racing on the backstretch. Gallant gets hung out wide, loses about 4 positions. As they come down for the first lap, Meserve pressure now from Gary Adams in the 74. Kevin Buck in the number 25. Here comes Donnie Whitten up the outside to challenge for that third place position. Donnie Whitten in the 83 up now to take a look to the outside of Adams. Man on the move, Donnie Whitten in the 83. Now up taking a look to the outside of race leader Whitey Meserve. Donnie Whitten, youngster out of Kennebunk, Maine, on the move in the number 83, trying to draw it even with pole sitter and race leader Whitey Meserve in the 08. Last qualifying right now would be the number 28, Jeff Severance. He sits in that 12th and final qualifying position for the main event. Continues to be Meserve in the 08, down on the inside rail, slight advantage over Whitten in the 83, then Gary Adams in that number 3 position. Kevin Buck riding 4th, and Jim Colbert Jr. rounds out the top 5. Donnie Whitten back now in a side-by-side battle for the second spot. Spin by Wiles in the number 29. Connor in the 43 and Gallant in the 13. They all continue underway. We stay green. Donnie Whitten back again now. They'll be approaching the halfway mark, indicates starter Junior Niles. Whitten now with a strong surge once again. Out of turn 4, wheel to wheel, advantage across the stripe. Whitten, the new leader by a fender as they cross the stripe. Last qualifying position still in the hands of Jeff Severance in the 28. Donnie Whitten with a hard charge on the outside, able to squeeze the car by in turns 3 to 4. Takes the point over to himself. Kevin Rumry up to that last qualifying position now. Remember, only 12 cars to qualify for the main event. The rest will have to do it via the consolation. And naturally, all of these drivers want to secure a spot in the main event. Top 5 remains the same. Donnie Whitten, Meserve, Adams, Kevin Buck in the 25, and Jim Colbert Jr. in the 99. Top 5 then comes Donnie Morse in the number 75 in the 6th spot. Wayne Whitten in the 0 up to position 7. 8th spot Glenn Reynolds. Then comes the 09 Dwight Shepard. And rounding out the top 10, the 62 of Jeff Charland. Starter indicates just 2 to go when they cross the stripe this time. Donnie Whitten with an impressive run. Last qualifying between the 49 and the 10. Battle for second now. White flag is down in their last lap. Adams going at it side by side, gets the advantage on the backstretch over Meserve. Gary Adams trying to take over that second spot. Meserve back hard on the inside. They go at it wheel to wheel. Whitten under the checkered flag, then Adams, Meserve, Kevin Buck, and unofficially Donnie Morse up to grab that 5th place. Very competitive Limited Sportsman division. Unofficially, the last qualifier was the number 62 of Jeff Charland. Coasting down to the start-finish line area. Nice round of applause, please, for the winner of heat number 1, Donnie Whitten, in the number 83. The Gahan Construction automobile. Whitten, an ever-improving young driver, and certainly running strong tonight. First time out for the number 71, Dave Bath. Correction on that, Steve Reno in the number 71. Then Jim Emerson and Tim Maloney coming to turn 4. Green is out. Phil Weeks from the point shows the way. The battle is for second. Willie Elliott in the 08. Ed Strong in the 10. Jeff Salibi way up high in the number 40 is going to go to the back of the pack. Battle now for that 3rd place position. Danny Palmer in the 93, Ed Strong. Strong slips just a little bit. That leaves that 3rd spot for Palmer. Darrell Ward up to challenge now for the 4th place position as the top 5 have broken away. Phil Weeks continues to hold the point in the number 9. A lot of pressure from Willie Elliott in the 08. Then comes Danny Palmer on the move as he works to the outside of Darrell Ward. Top 4 having broken away just a bit. They'll be coming to the halfway point. It will be 5 down, 5 to go. Phil Weeks doing a nice job in the number 9, rookie in this Super Sportsman division this year. As a veteran, and his back bumper, Willie Elliott. Darrell Ward in the 3rd place position, also a rookie up from the Limited Sportsman division. Danny Palmer in his 2nd year in the division. It will be 2 to go as they cross the stripe. Willie Elliott now right up to the back bumper of the number 9. Elliott, the type of racer who will keep trying. If he can find a way by, he's going to do it inside, outside. So keep your eyes on the 08. Under the white flag, they are in their last lap. Willie Elliott, half a lap to make a move if he's going to. Stays down low. Checkered flag in the air. Phil Weeks nails qualifying heat number 1, followed by Willie Elliott, Darrell Ward, Danny Palmer, and Ed Strong, your top 5. First qualifier for the Super Sportsman. Lower point Super Sportsman cars and drivers coming into tonight's race meet. Here's your winner of heat number 1, ladies and gentlemen, Phil Weeks in the Design Acoustics Scarborough muffler number 9. Up and coming Super Sportsman driver, definitely. Riding shotgun for this qualifying heat, Craig Strout in an all-new number 7. 10 laps on tap. These are the lower point late models coming into tonight's race. Scott Watson, the F80, Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3. Man on the pole should set the pace. He gets up there. Green is out. Scott Watts, a former modified driver here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. puts the F80 out to the point. Young Mike Mayetta Jr. on the move on the outside. Takes it right out to the stripe. Side-by-side battle is for third. Glenn Cusack in the number 2. Barry Babb in the 0 to the outside. Babb puts about a half car length ahead, tries to take over that position 3, and he does out of turn 4. Will now try to rein in the leaders. Mayetta looks beneath the F80, no room as Watts shut the door. Mayetta had to back out of it. On the move, Bobby Babb in the number 4 as he now takes a look to the outside of the number 2. Flagman Eddie Welch indicates they're coming to the halfway mark. Continues to be Scott Watts, but he has a mirror full of Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3. Mayetta once again looks down low. Barry Babb momentarily boxed in as he is at the back bumper of the number 3. Bobby Babb once again up beside the 2 of Cusack. And they will have to deal with the number 7. And they got it out of shape just a little bit. Here comes Bobby Babb to challenge to the outside of younger brother Barry. And they have the slower car. That boxes Barry in, and Bobby Babb takes over position number 3. Mayetta once again gets a toe hold beneath the F80 down into turn number 3. Mayetta trying to squeeze, gets sideways as he gets into the left rear of the F80. Young Mike Mayetta just back with a rebuilt number 3. Gets it sideways as he bumped the inside left of the F80. Trying to refire the car, can't do it, and we are under caution. Four, green is out, and it's Bobby Babb from the outside. Babb with a hard run. They get together. Watts into the left rear of Babb. He backs out of it, lets Babb go. And Bobby Babb with a hard charge from the outside. We'll see the white flag out. Late model sportsman working hard tonight in this first qualifying heat. Bobby Babb looking for the first qualifying heat win. Will exit turn 4. See the checkered flag go down. Babb followed by Scott Watts, Barry Babb, Tim Land, and I believe the number 2, Glenn Cusack. Here's your winner of heat number 1 in the late models from Windham, Maine in the Wetterau, number 4, Bobby Babb. And to his outside, rookie and already a feature winner, Steve Berry Jr. in the number 7. Row 5 to the inside, the number 2 of rookie Hans Meyer. To his outside, Mike Field in the 88. Then comes Ken McLeod in the number 30, Bob Doak in the 33. The 86 of Bob Herrick, the 94, and Dennis Hall. Pee Wee Knight in the 111, Gordon Nelson in the 61. Billy Thompson in the number 6. Danny Bubar in the number 24. The 78 is driven by Dave Fecto, and the number 37 defending champion Larry Gelinas. 15 laps on tap. Hold it even, pick it up just a little. Green is out. Gonna be a drag race as they just crawl out of turn number 4. Evidently a problem on the 56 of Robert Bodwell. And he loses 3 positions right off quick. Ryan Shepard, impressive rookie in the number 34, has the point to himself. Then comes Dave Langlis, rookie Steve Berry, Mike Field, and Robert Bodwell, your top 5. Bodwell evidently with either shifting problems or something right on the start, hard to get underway. 56, he was a feature winner here a couple of weeks ago. Having a little trouble getting underway tonight. Well, meanwhile, back up front, Ryan Shepard has some pressure now from Dave Langlis. Car's bunched up on the back stretch. Bodwell gets the car out of shape. Neely turns it sideways, but gets the car back straightened out. And obviously he is backing up on the field here. Something amiss in the number 56. And that's holding up the High Point men as they kind of boxed in there in the back of the pack. Definite problems on the number 56. Tough way to start the night. Unofficially, the last qualified car at the moment would be Danny Bubar in the number 24, as I believe he sets in that 12th and final qualifying position. Keep your eyes on that. All of these drivers want to get up and qualify and not have to do it via the consolation. Remember, only 12 qualifying positions available. Well, the top three have broken away. Shepard, Langlis, and Berry. Then comes Mike Field and Keith Lovejoy, your top five. Top cars still way out of qualifying. Cars like the number 6, Billy Thompson, the 78. Dave Bechtel, the High Point man and defending champion Larry Gelinas, along with Dennis Hall, also a feature winner. Well, they'll be coming to the halfway point, indicates starter. 8 down, 7 to go. Last qualifying position between the 24 and the 30. Danny Bubar in the 24. Ken McLeod in the number 30, battling for that last qualifying position at the moment. Kind of labeled 92 the year of the rookie, and we have some outstanding rookies, and one of those is right at the front. Young Ryan Shepard showing the way. Then Dave Langlis and another outstanding rookie, Steve Berry in the number 7, already has grabbed a feature win. Last qualifying spots, a battle between Danny Bubar and Pee Wee Knight. Top 5 broken away. Then it is a dogfight from position 6 on back for qualifying. 2 laps to go, indicates Blackman Eddie Walsh. White flag is out, 1 to go. Checkered flag out. Ryan Shepard grabs the second qualifying heat, followed by Dave Langlis, Steve Berry, Mike Field, and Keith Lovejoy. Unofficially, the last qualifier was the 111 Pee Wee Knight. Coasting down to the start-finish line area, winner of the second qualifying heat in the Limited Sportsman division, Ryan Shepard in the Wears Motors number 34. One of the outstanding rookies in 1992. Second generation racer, son of Dwight Shepard. Still racing here at the Speedway. And one of the most severe crashes we've had thus far this year was experienced by Dave Bath in the number 5, who sits there on the outside of the front row. Talked with Dave and his father earlier, and they just have a tremendous amount of thank yous to hand out. Among them, their crew, John Allen, Carl Wilson, Brett Staples, Carl Haskell, Larry Terrio, Herman Perkins, George Dow, and they said just incredible help from some of the competitors and people like Goodwin, Hannaford, Rex, Garrett, and they expected weeks and weeks of rebuilding that car, but thanks to some tremendous help from the crew and people who supported them and competitors, they said it's amazing that they're back here tonight, and it just goes to show the sportsmanship and the team effort that these fellows put out to help each other. Right now, looking for green at turn 4. Sprague and Bath have it. Out of turn 4, Dave Sprague from the inside. Steve Howard, Dave Bath go at it for position number 2. Still, wheel to wheel for position 2. Steve Howard to the inside, Dave Bath to the outside. Race is for position number 2. Chris Rule momentarily boxed in the number 14. Stays down low as Howard advances by about a half a car. Steve Howard has the runner-up spot. Chris Rule now side by side with Dave Bath for the 3rd position. Then comes Russ Johnson rounding out the top 5. Advantage to the inside groove as that inside line seems to be working a little bit better here early in the evening. These are the High Point men in the Super Sportsman division. 2nd year of this new concept here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Coming to the halfway mark indicates flagman Eddie Walsh. Super Sportsman with late model type chassis, limited type engine. Designed to be an intermediate step from the highly competitive Limited Sportsman division with its big numbers to the super fast late model Sportsman. Well, these Super Sportsmen sit right in the middle. Class that's growing very rapidly here at the Speedway, and some outstanding racers. Man on the move, Chris Rule in the number 14 as he continues to march up the outside. Has worked his way up into the runner-up spot. Now takes a look to the outside of race leader Dave Sprague. Rule has grabbed 2 feature events thus far in 1992. Has fallen on some hard times over the last couple of weeks. Talked with Chris during the week and he said, boy, I hope our luck is going to change. And by the way he has moved up on the outside, it looks like that is just what's happening. White flag is out, 1 to go, and here comes Chris Rule up to challenge race leader Sprague. They go side by side out of turn 2 on the backstretch. To turn 3, wheel to wheel. Turn 4, sideways, the number 14. They come across the stripe. Too close to call. We'll let the official scoring take care of that. And the leaderboard says the 14 and Chris Rule by a bumper over Dave Sprague's number 1. Then the 03 of Steve Howard. In 4th place, the 19, Russ Johnson. And rounding out the top 5, Richard Bubba Pelton in the number 27. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Dunston video. Main battery number 14 and Chris Rule. First they get an extra lap to kind of warm those tires up. Jockey in a position. 10 laps on tap for the High Point late models. Some of the fastest late models you will see anywhere. The radar gun had them up around 95 miles an hour here last week. And that is moving for a late model sportsman on a 1/3 mile oval. Lightman says hold it even at turn 4. Green is out. Gary Pulsivo with the advantage from the inside. Andy Lude gets the car turned about as he crosses the stripe backwards. Refires the car. Well, they tell us it's Tim Maloney in the number 56 filling in tonight. Usual Super Sportsman driver. Meanwhile, back up front, it continues to be Gary Pulsifa, Bobby Libby. Libby with a lot of pressure from Pete Rondo in the number 44. Then comes Paul Johnson in a side-by-side battle shaping up for position number 5. Mike Mayetta to the inside, Joe Bowser to the outside. Gary Pulsford has had some impressive runs here, still looking for his first feature event in 1992 in the late model ranks. But he certainly has turned some very quick time, just as he is doing now. Well, Paul Johnson tries to get beneath the number 44, has to get hard into the brakes. Halfway mark, 5 down, 5 to go. Gary Pulsford opening up some impressive distance here on some very fast cars in this division. Pete Rondo. Rondo has Paul Johnson working to the outside, Mike Mayetta at the back bumper. Well, we thought Gary Pulsford was turning some pretty quick time. 15.57 that last lap unofficially. Very good time for any late model. 2 laps to go. We'll put the watch on him one more time. Pete Rondo with a marrow full of top late model sportsmen. Paul Johnson working on the outside, Mike Mayetta to the inside. They will see the white flag fly. 1 lap to go. Gary Pulsford, 15.6. Order remains the same, but Paul Johnson's trying to change that. Checkered flag down. Gary Pulsford, Pete Rondo, Paul Johnson, Mike Mayetta, and Bobby Libby. The top 5. Very, very impressive times here early in the evening by these late model sportsmen. In the Kenneth, number 41, Gary Pulsford capturing heat number 2 for the late model sportsman. Well, we have our junior fan club winners. 52 is driven by Ron Breslin. The 77, Rick Libby. John Maycomber in the 96, Chuck Willoughby in the 82. The 67 of Larry Vos, the 87 of Bob Collette. First time out this year in the number 14, Willie Boucher. The 32 of David Jackson, and the number 92 of Andy Gayu filling in tonight in the number 92. Limited Sportsman semi-feature. These are the lower point Limited Sportsman cars and drivers. They are looking to gain additional points and get into the qualifying heats and a chance to run in the main event next week. Assistant starter Junior Niles gives the all clear as the drivers stage on the backstretch. Pace car onto the infield pit road. Mark Booker on the point along with Russell Barter. Green is out. Mark Booker in the number 60. Then up the inside comes the 22 of Bob Barash, and he's in a side-by-side battle now with the 95 Roger Williams, who comes right up the inside, followed by Don Tapley in the 15. Car off the top of turn 2 brings out the caution. Looking for a start out of turn 4. Green is out. Once again, a scramble now. 3 wide and up the inside. Don Tapley Jr. with a risky move, but he made it work. Goes from position 3 to 1. Mark Booker trying to recover that spot, but not going to be able to do it as Don Tapley is putting distance on the rest of the field. Mark Booker, your second place competitor. Then comes Bob Barash in the 22. Tango in turn number 2 will require the caution flag once again, as rookie Mark Booker gets it turned about, and there's a bumper sitting up there in the middle of turn number 2. And could we have Michael Wright come to the ticket window? Michael Wright. Ready to restart, and green is out. Don Tapley with the advantage from the inside. Tango once again in the turn 2 area. That's been a tough area in this semi-feature. Everyone stays underway and we stay green. Cars involved, Barnett, 04, Shaw, 16, and the 65. Kevin O'Rourke. Don Tapley back to a comfortable lead. Then comes Bob Barosh in the 22, followed by Jackie Roussel in the 19, Roger Williams in the 95. And a battle for that 5th place position. 73, Larry Ramsey trying to hold even with John Maycomber in the 96. Tango on the backstretch, and they get that all sorted out. Roger Williams up to take over position number 3. Halfway marked as they cross the stripe. Don Tapley with a comfortable lead. Then comes Jackie Roussel in the 19, Roger Williams in the 95. The 98 tonight, Andy Gayu, position number 4. And Larry Vokes rounds out your top 5. Roger Williams closing in on the 19 of Jackie Roussel. Roussel a rookie in the 19. Williams quite an experienced driver. Tangle in turn 4. All kinds of fluid leaking from the 60 and a wheel off a car will put the field under caution once again. And that wheel just doesn't want to quit. Voucher waiting to get back in line. Some problems, had to take it on a pit road. We are ready for a restart at turn 4. Green is out. Don Tapley with a slight advantage over Roussel in the 19. Roger Williams trying to mount a challenge for that runner-up spot with the number 95 to the inside. Roussel gets it sideways in turn 1. Does a nice job of hanging onto the car, but loses a lot of ground, and he's hung on the outside now. 2 to go this time by. Don Tapley, Roger Williams, John Maycomber, Andy Gayu, and Rick Libby, a top 5. Chuck Willoughby on the move in the number 82 as he looks to the outside of Libby in the 77. White flag is out, 1 to go. John Maycomber right down in the speed bumps, trying to take over position number 2, and he does by a fender. Checkered flag in the air, Don Tapley, John Maycomber, Roger Williams, Andy Gayu, and Rick Libby. hard fought. Limited Sportsman semi-feature. And here's the winner of tonight's Limited Sportsman semi-feature down at the start-finish line area, Don Tapley in the number 15. Hard-fought Limited Sportsman event. '37. Row 6, Dave Wiles in the 29 and Dennis Hall in the 94. Row 7, Ed Gallant in the 13 and Kurt Bean in the 42. Row 7, Scott Chapman in the 85 and Robert Bodwell Jr. in the number 56. 8 qualifying positions available from this consolation event. Only 8 will transfer to the main event. And you know every single one of these drivers want to start in that main event. So keep your eyes on the people back there in the last 3 rows. Green is out and Bodwell's about halfway up through the pack. And that's bad news because the green had not come out. And the young man trying just a little too hard and jumped the gun. Dennis Quinn shows the way, followed by Danny Bubar. Then comes the rookie Severance and the veteran Rob Herrick in the 86. Herrick with the advantage. Dave Fecto on the move, as is Larry Chalinas. Remember, only 8 qualifying positions available. Those last positions are between Wayne Poland in the 79 and Billy Thompson in the number 6. The last 2 qualified cars, the 6 and the 79 right now. Dennis Quinn with all kinds of pressure. He has Danny Bubar working hard to the outside. He has Rob Herrick at the back bumper. Then comes Fecto and July's caution flag is out as we have a tangle on the backstretch. David Wiles hooked together with another car, and we can't see the number of that car at the moment. Officials indicated that the 56 had passed 8 cars before the green flag came out, so he's penalized 16 positions. And they're explaining that to him right now, so there's really no point. Even if he came in first, he wouldn't qualify. There's only 8 positions available, so. Not Robert Bodwell's night. And 2 weeks ago, that young man grabbed his first Limited Sportsman main event in just a super performance. But tonight was not to be. Dennis Quinn. Danny Bubar occupy the front row. Then comes Rob Herrick and Dave Fecto. Larry Chalinas, Jeff Severance, Billy Thompson, and Wayne Poland. Right now the qualified cars at turn 4. We have it. They're under green. And once again, the 06 shows the way. Dennis Quinn. Rob Herrick trying to get up and challenge the 24 for that runner-up position. Top 5, bumper to bumper and wheel to wheel. They exit turn 4. Danny Bubar continues to take a look to the outside of the 06, trying to mount a challenge for that lead position. And he has no place else to go but stay right there because Rob Herrick is to his inside and at the rear bumper of race leader Quinn. Qualifying positions between the 28 and the 79. Oh, they tangle on the backstretch. The 18, the 79, and the 42. Cars get hooked together and a tough break for Wayne Poland in the 79. The 18. Jerome Boucher, a rookie. And with it, Kurt Bean in the 42. out of contention. Continues to be Dennis Quinn showing the way, and it continues to be Danny Bubar trying to get up and challenge on the outside. Halfway mark, 8 down, 7 to go. Danny Bubar now up beside race leader Dennis Quinn. Continues to be Quinn by a bumper as they cross the stripe that time. Down into turn 3. The 24 puts a bumper ahead. Exiting turn 4 from the outside. Danny Bubar puts a fender up. Quinn trying not to give up that inside groove, but the 24 real strong on the backstretch, squeezes ahead. Taking the point to himself now, Danny Bubar in the number 24. New leader over Dennis Quinn, then Rob Herrick. Larry Gelinas up to position 4, but he has Dave Fecto on his outside, who also wants the position. Top 7 have broken away. And last qualifier would be Jeff Severance in the number 28. Two laps to go. Danny Bubar showing the strength that he started the 1992 season with as he won here opening day. Comes under the white flag as he continues to put distance on the rest of this consolation field. Larry Gelinas continues to advance on the outside. He's up to the outside of Herrick. Checkered flag out. Danny Bubar, Dennis Quinn, Rob Herrick, Larry Gelinas, and Billy Thompson, your top 5. Last qualifier, the 28, Jeff Severance. Attention to trackside and Mr. Andy Cusack. Andy?
Thank you, Bruce, and good evening, everybody. We are very fortunate here at this Speedway tonight. It is very rare that these trucks make a stop at any short track like this any place in the nation. But these folks were here with us last year during our 4th of July celebration. They had such a good time being here with you folks and such a good time at this racetrack that while they were back in the area, they gave us a call and said, we're going to be in Scarborough, Maine, and we'd like to come over on a Saturday night and show your crowd what we can do. We are going to take a moment and speak with a gentleman that I'll introduce to you who holds the world records for the fastest time in a truck. And these are the trucks he set it with. At this time, would you welcome forward a gentleman you met last year, Tyrone Malone, and the $1 Million Bandag Diesel Racing Team. Tyrone, good evening. It's great to have you back with us in Scarborough, Maine.
Well, Andy, it's just beautiful to be here, and I'm telling you, last year we had great weather and great weather again, and look at all the good fans we got out here. But it really is. I really enjoy your country up here, and I'm going to retire at the end of next year. I've been doing this 26 years and been all over the world, from Europe, Australia. I've been to Europe 3 times, Australia, and Canada, and many, many times. But I enjoy it up here as good as any place I go.
But tell us, you've been in the area, up around Bangor, over in New Hampshire, doing some visiting this past week.
Yeah, as you know, I'm sponsored by Bandag Retreads. I did Merchant's Tire here last year, and then I've been doing some other dealers around. I've been up to Lancaster, New Hampshire, and I was down in New York. And we started the 1st of April, worked all the way from California, and now we're headed back. In fact, in the morning we got to head out because we got a show Wednesday in Cleveland, and we'll work all the way to Oregon, back to Boston, and then back to South Carolina, Florida, and then I get home about the 10th of November. It's a busy season.
Now, when you say you're going to another show, what do you do at these shows?
Well, I take all these trucks right now. I have a contract with Bandag, and I put steak dinners on for truckers. We feed last year about 17,000, 18,000 truckers, and some of their kids, and naturally the wife. But we take the trucks there. You see, up until the last 5 years ago, I used to perform at every place I went. And one day would be the truckers' open house, and the next day we'd just block the street off and get to it, you know. And then maybe during the week or the weekend we'd be at a track or so. But insurance got so tough that about the only time I can do my 180s or my burnouts is at a track like this. So I might be 62 next month, but I still love it.
Tell us what the origin of these trucks is. Why do you take these trucks around? What did you used to do with them? These drag vehicles?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, really, this are 3 of 15 vehicles that I have. I have about 10 of them with me here, and we're going to invite everybody to come over later. We'll have the hoods up and the lights on and the whole deal. But I started years ago, believe it or not. I was a broke guy and had been in the automobile business and went broke, and I started with a frozen whale. Greenpeace started, and they were marching on the whaling stage and say, "Save the whale, save the whale." And I said, "Hell, I went to a whale of a sale last week. They didn't have one. I believe I'll get one." Anyway, I got a permit from the United States government. To make a long story short, fustled me $107,000 and put a 20-ton, 38-foot whale in a big custom Kenworth truck and trailer. And I wasn't a very good truck driver, but we all learned to do everything. And from that old truck that pulls the whale, and I want to tell the folks that I still have it. In fact, we just haven't worked it for about 5 years. We've been restoring the truck and trailer, and it's going to go back to work about the 15th of next month. And from that truck that pulled the whale, had 8 pages of Sports Illustrated, and in '69, I owed a couple $100,000 when I started. I paid it off, and every buck I've got ever since, I just kept putting in trucks. And I'll tell you one thing about trucks. I don't care if he's 2 years old or 92. They all like them. It's like these race cars out there. There's something about them. There's a stigma that everybody likes a pretty car. They like a little action. And I'll tell you one thing. I found that out with trucks, and I guess I'm the first guy long before anybody did to race or to really get into showmanship with trucks. And then I found out that the more I got, the better the team was. But I really found out, ladies and gentlemen, that just speed was not it. Went to Bonneville in '71 and went 115 miles an hour. Of course, every trucker in the country said, "Hell, I come off a hill doing 123. And they'd make me mad, and I said, "When you go back up at 123, I'll give you the trophy." They made me run both ways. But anyway, then a guy went 133 in '73. In 1976, I took this Super Boss, which is really my trick truck. And I just, you know, I'm like at home watching TV, laying on the couch when I'm driving. I've been in it so long. But I built it in '76, and I said, "That's Mom and Apple Pie and USA." And I came out here, and I thought I was really going to do good in '76, and there must have been 900 people painted everything red, white, and blue, so you couldn't even tell I had a truck hardly. But I couldn't get a sponsor, and I put a set of Bandag retreads on because I couldn't get new tire sponsors to sponsor me. And I designed an ad, and I went to Bonneville, and we averaged 144 miles an hour on salt. Now, that's average. You run 2 miles clock for a mile, you got 2 miles to stop, and then in 1 hour you got to come back and run again. We took United States Auto Club out there, and I got Bandag as a sponsor because I said, if you're going to be doing 144 in a truck, you better be on Bandag retreads. But it's been really good to me, my sponsor, and to hang on to a national sponsor, or really I should say worldwide, for 16 years I really have appreciate them. But they know that we got a lot of showmanship about us, and it isn't all speed. You got to be a showman, and you got to show these people that you appreciate them, and I really do, folks, I'll tell you.
These folks appreciate you being here tonight too, Tyrone. I know if they were here last year, they've been talking about this all winter long, and we've been around to the shows. They've said, "Are you bringing Tyrone back in his trucks?" And here he is tonight. You said you've got 15 trucks all together. Why do you keep accumulating these trucks? What is it you do with them if you're not out setting speed records with them back in the 70s?
Well, I'll tell you, the last speed record we set was 88. I challenged the chairman of the board to drive this black truck, and I would drive super. And I said, the best man wins. He never drove a truck, but out on Bonneville, it's straight. There's no fruit stands or telephone poles to run into, so if you got the moxie to hold that old throttle to the floor, well, she shakes, rattles, and rolls, but after about a week, I run 150 2 or 3 times, but I never averaged it. I blew 2 engines, and I give my chairman of the board credit. He averaged 150.915. Now, that's the Bandit in back of us. That truck, a 1,300 horse, dual turbo, 240 millimeter injected Detroit diesel. We'll run out there on 95, 170 miles an hour tomorrow, but I can't find a trooper that'll let me do it.
I want you to keep looking for one.
Anyway, to answer your question, I went the long way around. I get a lot of kids, I get a lot of adults, and they really like what we do. And no matter if we're in a rest area or where we're at or at a racetrack or one of my open houses, auto shows, truck shows, it seems that you're always showing, you know, and if you like people, why, that makes me feel good in them too. But there's no kind of museum for trucks. I'd like to build, and I've been working on it for 15 years. It's called Tyrone Malone's Trucker Town, home of Truckers Hall of Fame. I was going to put it in California, but this Branson, Missouri is getting so much attention with like 30 or 40 country western theaters going there and everything, and so I said, who knows, I might move to Missouri. I never have stayed at home anyway, but if you ever hear of my museum, and there will be a museum, if I have to put all my 15 under a tent, and I got to sell the tickets or get a sponsor to give the tickets away or something. But it's been an enjoyable 26 years, and not many guys my age got as good a job as I got, and I don't have to retire, but I'm going to not really retire. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to donate my trucks to this museum. This ain't going to be no Jimmy and Tammy deal now. So we're going to do something that makes people proud of trucking. And we got a lot of good people out there, and I know a lot of good truckers in the audience. But on behalf of myself and my crew, the Tyrone Malone $1 Million Truck Display, it is a privilege to be here, and I thank all you fans. I'd like to thank Andy and Glenn and you and everybody. I'd like to thank Merchants Tire and Miatas. Believe me, they're my friends, and just make their yard available to me. And it's very nice to know people like that when just last year I met all of you. Thanks again.
Well, we love having you here, Tyrone. Tyrone, you've got some rides to give to some very special kids that you were kind enough to give us some of your business cards to hand out to a select few kids when they came through. And what's going to happen?
Well, we're just going to take them 2 laps around the track and just give them a little remembrance that before we retire these old trucks, they get to ride in them, okay?
That's beautiful. We'll give the kids a ride. What are you going to do after this?
After this, you want me to do a couple more 180s?
Will you do a burnout? You want him to do a burnout?
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you'd like to know about the weight of those trucks. The Bandit and the Super Boss with 50-gallon of fuel weigh 16,300 pounds, and it gains drastically when I get in it. The Hurricane, the little white truck, weighs about 13,000 pounds. But a lot of people think that the trucks are very light, but that Super Boss weighs about what the average 3-axle tractor up and down the freeway pulling say a 4850 or 53-foot trailer weighs. Because there's a big V12 in it, dual turbo, 2 transmissions, you got a 750 Allison 5-speed, 2-speed axle, a 2-speed Eaton transmission backwards, and a 370 Eaton axle rear end. Time was 89. Do it tonight, but I want to put a good show on for you. But I will be honest, I did turn a truck over. They came out with a truck like Super Boss, a little miniature truck, and they're going to do a big promo, a little press party. They said, get in this little one and see if you can do a 180. I flipped it the first time. So maybe I can drive a big truck and I can't drive a little one. That Bandit, if I had a long enough, at a strip, you cannot believe it, I can smoke those tires about 1/8 of a mile down the drag strip, and I mean literally waltz that truck from side to side. It is a beautiful, beautiful burnout. but here we're going to do our best. I'm going to get busy here in a minute. Thank all you nice fans for coming out. We appreciate it, okay?
Thank you, Tyrone Malone. If you weren't, if you bought a soda or a coffee or hot chocolate, you might as well dump it under the grandstand, because when Tyrone's done pulling his Brodies, I guarantee you're going to have some rubber, some dust, and some Speedy Dry inside your drink. So you may want to put that under the grandstand right now when Tyrone lights up this truck.
You know, last time I think I did my 180s down there and one here. I think I'm going to do one right here in the middle of this band.
I'm kind of glad because it's my brother. Glenn Cusack will take the ride, the honorary ride with Tyrone Malone. One. Tyrone Malone said he brought a trophy along, one of his very favorite trophies to give to his passengers. But Tyrone Malone don't leave. Glenn Cusack. Of them have sat behind my car. But I've never seen one this nice. Officer, what seems to be the problem?
I've been chasing this man for a long time. Now, Mr. Malone, come over here.
Tyrone, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there seems to be a little problem. I don't think this toilet paper is going to get you any place with this guy. No, I don't think that trophy is good for him. What's the charge? What do you need him for?
Well, I was under the impression that he was going to do a 360 out here. I haven't seen it yet. Mr. Malone, if you don't do the 360 for this crowd, I'm going to have to put you under arrest.
Whoa, that's a pretty stiff penalty. Can you pull off a 360, Tyrone?
I'm going to try. Hope I don't have to give myself this. Okay, thank you, Trooper. What's your last?
Tyrone Malone.
Officials have indicated the drivers are set. Drivers, good luck to you all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the count of three, the most famous words in auto racing. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engines. All clear from atop the flag stand, and flagman Eddie Walsh, Phil Weeks, Ed Strong will bring the field to turn 4. We look for a start. We have agreed. Phil Weeks from the point. Willie Elliott up the inside to grab position number 2. Here comes Dave Sprague. Inside groove with the advantage as the first 3 from the inside. Then Ed Strong gets it down to hang on to position number 4. Weeks has Elliott right in the back bumper. Willie Elliott once again takes a glance to the outside, tucks it right back in behind the number 9 of Phil Weeks. Danny Palmer, Dave Van, Chris Rule, and Spike Manitoul quickly fill the outside groove. Danny Palmer gets out in the 3rd groove now. Evidently a problem on the number 93, or perhaps he just got out of the groove. Palmer apparently just getting out of the groove as he has dropped way back to the back of the pack. Dave Bath continuing his run in the outside groove as he elects to stay out there. Will try to advance on the outside, but it's hard to do. Inside completely. Line with cars from position 1 all the way back, about 3/4 of the way back through the pack. That inside groove is filled. Bath unable to find a spot where he can drop down and get in that inside groove. Doing a nice job in the number 9 as he continues to show the way, working lap number 8 of this 30-lap event. Outside groove now as he works to the outside of Doug Shores, trying to make his number 7 work out there and see if he can advance to the outside of this long line up the inside rail. Steve Howard also electing to make the move into the outside position as he takes a look to the outside of the number 10 of Ed Strong. Cluck also making a move on the outside as he works to the outside of the 27 of Richard Belton. Willie Elliott has closed it right up on the number 9. Seems to close it up, then back off just a bit. 13 laps down of this 30-lap event. Continues to be Phil Weeks showing the way right from the point. Willie Elliott continues in the runner-up spot. Third place, Dave Sprague. Ed Strong is 4th, and Steve Howard rounds out the top 5 as they approach the halfway point. Flagman Walsh indicates with the cross flags it will be 15 down, 15 to go as they cross the stripe this time. Some of these high point men are going to make a move like Doug Shores in the 07. He takes a look to the outside of the 27 now. They know the laps are winding down. They're in the second half of this feature event. Doug Shores continues to work to the outside of Pelton's number 27. Shores, driving the only Ford in the field, has 4 feature wins. He's the winningest driver in this division. Doug Shores makes his way around the number 27 as he starts his march to the front. Up to the 7th place position. Having completed lap 20, just 10 to go. Doug Shores takes it right out over the stripe, gets the car a little sideways as he has turned up the wing just a little bit, trying to get a little more as the laps wind down. Doug Shores, the man on the move. Now he takes a look to the outside of Steve Howard in the 03. Howard holding down position number 5 as Doug Shores putting the pressure on now. Phil Weeks has worked himself out to a rather comfortable lead now over Willie Elliott in the 08. Passing flag goes out to the 99 and the number 40. The race is for position number 5. held by Steve Howard in the 03, but he has all kinds of pressure from Doug Shores in the 07. They'll be coming up on a lap car, and that could very well put Shores out in the third groove if he tries to make a move around Howard as Howard goes around the 71. They go 3 wide now through turn number 4. That cost Shores 1 position. Just 2 laps to go. And race leader Phil Weeks has all kinds of traffic to deal with. 2 laps to go. Weeks works to the inside of Steve Wilson in the 99. Now has to deal with the 40 of Jeff Salibi. White flag is out for race leader Phil Weeks. Weeks trying to take it from green to checkered. And now the plot thickens as Willie Elliott now is up to the back bumper of Weeks. Checkered flag goes out. Phil Weeks captures his first Super Sportsman feature event. Doug Shores sideways down the front stretch as he was trying to advance a position and just ran out of room and ran out of time. But tonight, the Super Sportsman main event belonged to the young man from Scarborough, Maine, driving the Buick, and he'll be down to collect the colors in just a moment. Outstanding run, capturing his first Super Sportsman feature event in his rookie year. Phil Weeks will parade the colors and then be back in victory lane, collecting the hardware from Jeff Waterman's Sunoco Ultra Service Center in the runner-up spot. Willie Elliott in the 08. And in the number 1, Dave Sprague, capturing position number 3 as we go green to check it. And always a memorable night when a driver captures his first ever feature event.
And this is his first win in the Super Sportsman. So give him a nice round of applause. And in his team. Phil, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, tell us about it tonight. It was a clean race for you right from the start. Pole position all the way through.
Well, I guess we lucked out tonight. We had a good start in the feature, and boy, it's tough to lead, though. I'll tell you, it's tough to pace. So I was worried all night long. I just want to thank my sponsors, Design Acoustics, E1 Fire Trucks, my wife and my son for the sacrifices they took to get me here. Thank you.
This has got to be an incredible first victory for you. How does it feel to you, and what's going to happen for celebrations later on?
Well, first we're going to see about a babysitter for my son. So next I'll probably just float on into the pit right now. I feel so good.
It was tough at the end of the race. You had to pace yourself. 2 lapped cars in front of you. They began to race with each other, and you were kind of trapped in there. What was your strategy?
Well, I checked my rear view, see where Willie was. I figured, well, we'll just take them one at a time, and they've cleared out pretty well for me, so I'll take it the way it came.
Well, on behalf of tonight's sponsor, Waterman's Ultra Service Center, Rose McMullen has a very special first place trophy for you.
I heard you had a feeling you were going to win tonight. Congratulations, Phil.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause for Phil Weeks.
I'd also like to thank Jeff Waterman Sunoco for sponsoring tonight. Thank you.
If you purchase 50-50 tickets, a good chance for you to reach in your pocket right now. $1 in cash for you to take away tonight. $731 to be exact. If you are holding 50-50 ticket number 711482.
Number 35, Paul Johnson. From Sanford, the 91, and Bob Randall. In the number 13, Mike Mayetta Sr. The 33, Mike Johnson. The number 34, Bob Libby. The number 7, Craig Strout. And the number 56 tonight, Tim Maloney. Nice car in the infield pit road. We look for a start at turn 4. We have green. Scott Watts, Mike Mayetta Jr. go hard into turn 1, side by side out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Mayetta puts a fender ahead. Watts right back on the inside, doesn't want to give it up. Out of turn 4, Mayetta by a fender across the stripe. Side by side once again on the backstretch. They go wheel to wheel into turn 3. Scott Watts on the inside. Mike Mayetta Jr. to the outside. Watts by a bumper across the stripe that time. Continuing side by side, wheel to wheel. You wonder how many laps they'll be able to do that. Out of turn 4. Scott Watts by a bumper. Even down the backstretch to turn 3. Watts once again a bumper ahead as they approach turn 4. Scott Watts continues to lead it by a bumper. Gary Johnson a fender up on Glenn Cusack as they go wheel to wheel for position 3. Scott Watts again by a bumper as they cross the stripe. Mike Mayetta Jr. not wanting to give it up on the outside. You have to wonder how long the tires will stand it out there. As is the case with Gary Johnson to the outside of Glenn Cusack. Outstanding 90-mile-an-hour wheel-to-wheel late model sportsman action. Dead heat for the lead out of turn 4 to the stripe side by side. Mayetta puts a bumper ahead. Working lap number 8 and they've gone at it wheel to wheel. Gary Johnson takes over that third place position as he finally squeezes by the number 2 of Glenn Cusack. Scott Watts puts a fender ahead as they work turn 3 to turn 4. Watts turning the track at 15.7. Good time in the F80. Mike Mayetta Jr. doesn't want to give it up on the outside. Backed off just a little bit. He has come back hard on the outside. Has had plenty of opportunity to drop in behind the F80, but he has elected to stay out there and challenge for the lead. 10 laps down, they're working lap number 11, and it has been a side-by-side battle right from the green flag. Watts turning at about 15.78. Finally, Mike Mayetta drops it back in behind the F80 as he has worked that outside groove for 11 laps. Decides to drop it in and take a look to the inside. Looking back, Gary Johnson in position 3, Barry Babb in 4, and Glenn Cusack rounds out the top 5. High Point men trying to work their way up from the back of the pack. Leaders will have to deal with a 7. They have here to get out and around the new number 7 of Craig Strout. First time out for his new car. Mike Mayetta Jr. has found a hole beneath the F80. Gets it down beneath race leader Scott Watts and new leader Mike Mayetta Jr. as he slides beneath the F80 and gets that inside groove. Cars on the move back in the pack. Paul Johnson in the number 35. Pete Rondo in the 44. Tangle in turn 2. The 41 off onto the infield pit road. Everyone else is underway. Laps on the board. Mike Mayetta Jr. with a strong move to the inside of F80. But right now, all clear from atop the flag stand as the cars work down to turn 3. looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Mike Mayetta has the point to himself. Spin and cars hooked together. That takes several cars right out to the outside of the speedway and will require the caution as Craig Strout is unable to refire the number 7. As he gives the drivers the all clear as they stage on the backstretch. Pace car from Pick Chevrolet will make its way onto the infield pit road. Mike Mayetta Jr., Scott Watts at turn 4. Green is out. Mike Mayetta jumps into a quick lead. Scott Watts trying to stage a challenge once again, but this time he has Gary Johnson to deal with in addition to Mayetta. Tangle on the backstretch as the 16 gets turned about, and also a spin by the 53, and that will require the caution flag. Tim Land hard into the sand pile there as he was running down to the low side of the track. All clear once again from flagman Eddie Walsh. The 80 is back because the flag was actually thrown for the number 16. Looking for a start at turn 4. We have green. Once again, Mike Mayetta and Scott Watts. Up into the thick of things, Barry Babb in the 0 as he looks for racing room now at the back bumper of Mike Mayetta Jr. So Mike Mayetta Jr. with all kinds of pressure. Barry Babb gets into the side of young Mike Mayetta. They finally get freed up, and that changes things around. As Barry Babb into the left side of the number 3, they got hooked together. Mike Mayetta inherits the lead. Then comes Pete Rondo. Tim Maloney in the number 56. Tim Maloney filling in for Andy Lude is up to 4th place, doing a fine job in an unfamiliar car. Misfortune for the younger Mayetta was good fortune for Mike Mayetta Sr. as he inherited the lead on that altercation between his son and 0. And now Mike Mayetta with a comfortable lead over Pete Rondo in the runner-up position. Then comes Barry Babb. Tim Maloney in the number 56, and then a side-by-side battle for that 5th place position. Bobby Libby moving out and around young Mike Mayetta to round out the top 5. Flagman indicates just 2 to go. Working lap number 33 with 2 to go. Mike Mayetta, Pete Rondo, Barry Babb, Tim Maloney, and Bobby Libby. White flag down for Mayetta as he looks to collect his second feature event of 1992. Checkered flag out. Mike Mayetta Sr. grabs his second main event. Pete Rondo, Barry Babb, Bobby Libby, and Tim Maloney, a top 5. Back with the colors team. Car sponsored in part by the Mayetta Construction Company along with Pleasantville Auto Sales, Main Lubrication, Hillman's Auto Electric. Part of the sponsorship that keeps the 13 rolling.
Thank you, Bruce. Mike, congratulations.
Thank you, Andy.
Another good run for you, and once you get out front, it was pretty clean sailing, but for a while you're riding back of 3 cars. Your son, one of them, Barry Babb and Scott Walsh, and you're right there for a front row seat. Their racing opened up the door for you.
What we got to do, Andy, is have a little chat with them and let them know what patience is, you know. Them guys think lap 20 is the end of the race, and it's not. They got to get a little more patience. Just sit back like I do, and, you know, you win races by their misfortune. It's too bad, but they get calmed down, they'll be good races.
When you were driving when you were younger, is that something, that experience ever happened with you? Do you ever go through that? Does every driver go through that?
I think so when you're younger, yeah, because you really want to win bad. And, you know, they work just as hard as I do, and my guys do on my car, you know, and they deserve to win just as much. And I think they probably could if they just calm down a little bit and know that lap 20 isn't the last lap and be there at the end. I mean, you got to be there at the end or you ain't nothing.
Well, tonight the door was closed up front, but they tossed you the keys and it opened up and you had it. Congratulations.
Thank you. I want to thank my crew, Steve Roman, Barry Curtis, Butch Sanborn. There's guys, I know their names, but I know I'm going to miss some of them. Betsy Roman, she's been helping us a lot. And Bob Bailey, you know. I want everybody out here to know that I've had motor trouble, but it's my fault because we're running, you know, used parts. We're trying to stretch him as far as we can, and it's not, I mean, he's putting together what we give him to put together. He put me together a new motor in this car, and it's paid off, and he's really done a good job for me.
And a nice ride tonight. Sherry and Chrissy, representing Waterman's Ultra Service Center, has the trophy for you.
Congratulations, Mike, on behalf of Waterman's Sunoco.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for another win for Mike Mayetta.
The number 2 is driven by Hans Meyer. The 88, Mike Field. The number 30, Kent McLeod. Bob Doak in the 33, Rob Herrick in the 86. The 94, Dennis Hall. The 111, Pee Wee Knight. The 61 and Gordon Nelson. Billy Thompson in the number 6. Danny Bubar in the number 24. The 78, Dave Fecto. The number 37, Larry Gelinas. Number 75, Donnie Morse. And last week's feature winner in the number 70, Jeff Morgan. 50 laps on tap, extended feature for the Limited Sportsman. Flagman Eddie Walsh gives them the all clear as they glance to the flag stand one more time. Pace car on infield pit road. We look for a start. We have it. From the inside, Meserve in the 08. Side-by-side battle, Donnie Whitten. Gary Adams now to the outside as cars scatter all over the place in turn 2. Wayne Whitten on a pit road. Out of turn 4, the lead still in the hands of Meserve. Gary Adams trying to mount a challenge, but he has all kinds of pressure from Donnie Whitten in the 83. Donnie Whitten manages to get the runner-up spot to himself. Gary Adams back to position 3. Jeff Charland on the move in the number 62, as is Kevin Buck in the number 25. Donnie Whitten, remember that strong heat run. He wants to duplicate that. Keith Lovejoy trying to keep from being a lap down, but he has the leaders right on top of him. Spin by Buck in the 25 as he gets it looped down into the infield sand. Keith Lovejoy moves it way out to the third groove. That allows Donnie Whitten to continue his charge up the outside. Donnie Whitten now making his way out and around Whitey Meserve in the 08. So our new leader, Donnie Whitten. Meserve in the 08. Gary Adams in the 74. Charland in the 62, and Dwight Shepard in the 09 rounds out the top 5. Dwight Shepard on the move in the 09 as he takes a look to the outside of Jeff Charland in the number 62. He has his son Ryan Shepard to his inside, so it's a father-son battle. Dwight Shepard, veteran here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway for many years. In the 09, his young son in his rookie year in the number 34. Sitting in positions 5 and 6, trying to make it 4 and 5. In the number 7 as he now works to the outside of Ryan Shepard. Couple of outstanding rookies. Shepard in the 34, Steve Berry in the number 7. Comfortable lead by Donnie Whitten in the 83, but things are stacked right up from position 2 right on back through the field. Meserve and Adams go at it wheel to wheel for position 2. And it's a side-by-side duel all the way back through the bulk of the field. Cars tangle between turns 3 and 4. Why? Gary Adams now taking a look to the outside of the 08 once again. Several drivers continuing a hard charge up the outside. Steve Berry in the 7, Ryan Shepard in the 34. Kevin Rumry in the 49, Hans Meyer in the number 2, Dave Langlis in the 93. Then comes Danny Bubar, Dave Fecto, all trying to make a march up the outside. Tangle on the backstretch. The number 10 gets crossed up, and that takes about 6 others and requires the caution flag. 16 laps down, and we have about 6 cars piled up on the backstretch. Rob Herrick able to drive away. Glenn Reynolds, Rob Herrick, and Billy Thompson. So most of those cars involved in that altercation on the backstretch able to get back into racing action. 16 laps down. We look for a restart at turn 4. We have green. Donnie Whitten from the pole. Gary Adams to the inside. Adams up to position number 2. Meserve is 3rd. Jeff Charland 4th. Steve Berry. Oh, spin by The 83 as he gets turned about. Cars scattered to either side of race leader Donnie Whitten rather. As he sits turned about in turn 4, drivers do a nice job of getting around that number 83. And you might want to talk with young Steve Berry in the number 7 if that is of interest to you. But right now, Flagman Eddie Walsh says we're ready to restart this feature event. 16 laps down. Donnie Whitten, Whitey Meserve on the front line. Bring him to turn 4, and green is out. Whitten with the advantage from the inside. He brings the 74, Gary Adams, right along with him to second place position. Jim Culprit Jr. now works beneath the 08 of Meserve, trying to take that position. They go at it wheel to wheel, as does practically all the rest of the drivers going side by side. Top 3 broken away in a single file. Top 4 now as Meserve tries to shake loose, but Tim Jenrin's right back to do battle with him for that 4th place position. Side-by-side battles right straight on through the field. Like racing in a traffic jam when you're in the middle of that. Outstanding. That car's hooked together. Down into turn 3, Tim Jenrin evidently hooked together with the 08. They finally shake free. Hans Meyer gets it turned about. Mike Field also turned about. That will require the caution flag. Several cars unable to get free. 70, Jeff Morgan still trying to move his racer. Finally gets it. Donnie Morse. We still have a car up against the retaining wall. But once again, Flagman Eddie Walsh says it's all clear, gentlemen, as they stage on the backstretch. 19 laps down of this 50-lapper for the Limited Sportsman. This time, Donnie Whitten has Gary Adams to his outside. Green is out, and Donnie Whitten once again. Jim Culprit right up the inside as Adams got a little wide. Three wide racing on the backstretch. Like the 0 up against the sand banking on the backstretch. Wayne Whitten. Donnie Whitten, all kinds of pressure from Jim Culprit in the 99. Caution flag flies once again. From atop the flag stand and Flagman Eddie Walsh as the drivers stage on the backstretch. Front row once again, Donnie Whitten in the 83. Gary Adams in the number 74. Jim Culprit, brother. Dennis Hall right up the inside as he gets beneath Jim Culprit's number 99. Also on the move, Steve Berry in the number 7, working his way up to challenge for the 3rd place. Spin by the 99. Caution flag once again as Jim Culprit's car gets turned about and then is hit by several cars trying to avoid that melee. And then Flagman Eddie Walsh lets the drivers know be ready for a start at turn 4 once again. 21 laps down. Looking for a start at turn 4, we have green. Dennis Hall with the advantage from the outside. Strong move by Dennis Hall. Takes over the point, working lap number 22. On the move now on the outside, Steve Berry in the number 7. He works to the outside of Gordon Nelson in the 61. Race continues to be waged for position number 3. Veteran Gordon Nelson in the 61. The rookie Steve Berry in the number 7. Kevin Rumry up over the top of turns 3 and 4, gets the car turned about. Flagman indicates we'll be coming up on the halfway point. They go 3 wide down into turn number 3 to turn 4. Dennis Hall with a rather comfortable advantage over Gordon Nelson, who runs second, then Donnie Witt. The race is for 4th position. Gary Adams to the inside, Steve Berry to the outside. Dennis Quinn getting in to make it a 3-way battle for the 4th place position. Battle continues to be waged for positions 4, 5, and 6. Gary Adams, Dennis Quinn, Steve Berry. Then back in the pack, High Point Men still looking to get up into the top group. Gary Adams trying to hold off a hard-charging Dennis Quinn and Steve Berry. He has Quinn down low, Berry up high. Steve Berry now making a move to the outside of the number 74 of Adams. Battling for positions 4, 5, and 6. Adams continues to hold off Quinn in the 06, Steve Berry in the number 7. Then comes Tim Gendron and Danny Bubar. Dave Fecto, Ken McLeod, Mike Beard, Jeff Morgan, Pee-wee Knight, and Ryan Shepard. All strong running Limited Sportsmen, trying to advance and challenge those leaders who have just broken away. The top 3 have the front to themselves, particularly Dennis Hall. Dennis Quinn now going to try the outside groove and see if he can challenge Gary Adams for that 4th place position. You have to wonder if the tires are going to begin to be a factor for these guys who have run the outside groove. Steve Berry in the number 7 has been working the tires real hard out there. Several other drivers have had to get right out in the 2nd groove and just continue to heat those tires. Battle continues to wage for position 4. Gary Adams on the inside, Dennis Quinn to the outside. Tim Gendron. Tangle on the backstretch. The 88 up against the backstretch wall. He is collected by the 05, and that will require the caution flag. All clear once again from atop the flag stand. This car makes its way to the infield pit road. Dennis Hall, Gordon Nelson get the green out of turn 4, and Hall once again quickly back to establish himself at the point as Gordon Nelson. Then comes the 83 Donnie Whitten, the 06 Dennis Quinn, and the 74 Gary Adams. The top 5. Steve Berry gets turned sideways, gets into the number 24, gets turned around again. That will require the caution flag once again. Once again, Dennis Hall on the point. Gordon Nelson is outside. We'll bring the field to a start out of turn 4. We have green. Dennis Hall from the inside. Right back where he lets Tangle. In turn number 1, Meserve gets turned about along with the 70, the 62, the 28, all involved there. Everyone stays underway. We stay green. Dennis Hall, Gordon Nelson. The battle is for 3rd. Donnie Whitten and Dennis Quinn. Quinn gets sideways, has to back out of it just a little bit. Dave Vecto up to position number 4 now. It will be 5 to go, indicates our starter. Battle is for 5th. Tim Gendron in the 12, Dennis Quinn in the 06. Quinn has to drop back into position number 6. Pee Wee Knight trying to advance a few positions here in the last few laps. Flagman indicates just 2 to go when they cross the stripe this time. It will be 48 down and 2 to go. Dennis Hall exits turn 4, sees the white flag out. Hall looking for his 2nd main event. 1992. Has certainly displayed a lot of power here tonight. Checkered flag down. The 50 lapper goes to Hall, followed by Gordon Nelson, Donnie Whitten, Dave Fecto, and Tim Gendron. Your top 5. Returning the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh, Dennis Hall. To Andy Cusack. Andy.
Thank you, Bruce. Some smiles from Italy. 50 laps later, you started 24th on the grid and you're first. How was it for you getting up through the traffic?
Well, at the beginning, it was everything opened right up. We went right up through, me and 61 there. It was great. It's real good.
And then you got to race beside him on a couple of restarts. Did you have some good racing there?
Yeah, I thought it was very good. Very good.
So the car seems to be dialed in now. Is this going to be a pattern for the rest of the year? Do you think you figured out the secret to it?
Well, I hope so. We got some new tires tonight. We didn't use them all, but used a couple of them.
Keep a couple of them up the sleeve. You can pull those out for secret weapons. Linda Waterman from Waterman's Ultra Service Sunoco station has the presentation.
You did a good job, Dennis.
Congratulations, Dennis. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Dennis Hall. Well, I hope the Wildcats can live up to what these limiters just put on for you.
All clear from atop the flag stand. The pace car onto the infield pit road. We're ready for a start. Green is out. The number 6 shows the way. That's Bill Panett. 3 wide, 4 wide, whatever. The 15 on the move. That's Bernie Gerard. Then comes the 66, John Waterhouse. Caution flag as we have cars on the backstretch. Ready to go once again. Green is out. Once again, Bill Panett. The 15, Rene Girard, and the 66 along with the 38, your leaders. Bill Panett continues to hang on to the lead. A lot of pressure from Rene Girard in the 15. They try to break away from the rest of the back. We have a hood up on one of the cars. It's like the number 3. That's Glenn Bradbury. Panett continues to be your leader, followed by Girard. Then comes the 03, Ray Leach. Bill Panett continues to show the way with the number 6, followed by Rene Girard in the 15. Then comes Ray Leach Jr. in the 03. Leach getting beneath the number 15, trying to challenge for that runner-up position. Mark Bernier on the move in the number 55 as he has worked his way up to position number 4. Spin in turn 4. The number 7 gets it turned about. Also the 44 takes it up into the infield. Both cars stay underway. We stay under green. Slower cars now are going to enter into the equation. Bill Panett threads his way through the traffic, followed by Girard in the 15. Bernier on the move as he gets beneath the number 15, trying to take over that runner-up position, coming to the halfway mark. Bill Panett continues to be the leader right here, the number 6, then the 55 of Bernier. We have a car turned about. top of turn 4 and in the middle of turn 4. That will require the caution flag. Back in realignment. Mike Burney in the 55. Bill Panett in the number 6 on the front row. We have green. Cars spinning in the one turn. And a tangle. That will require the caution right back out before they turn another lap. Ready to restart at turn 4. Green is out. Mark Bernier in the 55. Two laps to go and a dogfight at the front. The 29, Todd Fitz, gets beneath race leader Mark Bernier to take over the point. And Bernier is going to try to return. They move to the inside. Couldn't quite do it. Todd Fitz right here going under the white flag, the number 29. Then comes the 55 Mark Bernier, the 15 Rene Girard. Tangle in turn 2 as cars get all over the place. Checkered flag and the caution. Todd Fitz in the number 29, followed by Bernier. Collect his checkered flag for another Wildcat feature event. And with that comes the conclusion of tonight's race meet. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to have you with us. And we hope that you'll make it a habit to get right back here each and every Saturday night with us. And of course, next weekend, get back on Friday night for a spectacular celebration of the 4th of July, both July 3rd and 4th. And once again, you are invited to stay around for a bit if you'd like to and get out and talk with some of the drivers. Also an opportunity to get over and meet Tyrone Malone and look over the rest of his display. If you are headed home, as always, we'll urge you to please drive carefully. And we look to see you right back here with us next weekend. Good evening.